we know that we're in the virus stage now, but the virus stage may bump up into the front door of the hurricane stage, all right? And so I want us to be thinking about and being prepared, knowing that the National Weather Service and those have predicted, and I guess the CEMA director can speak to what I'm saying, all right? Knowing that they have predicted that there'll be some storms. We don't know whether they're coming this way or not, but I want to make sure that if this emergency situation then bumps into that emergency situation and we then have to evacuate folks from here, where are we going with them? And are we forward thinking as to direction and speed of things that we could make sure that we are pre-planning? And if we don't need to plan, that'll be great. But if we need to plan, we have it in place to do something with. That's my question.
Well, there's thought being, obviously we would request an executive order to deny all storms on the East Coast. I'm just saying, right. Don't speak it. Right. You're a pastor, don't speak it.
Yeah, right.
Don't speak it.
Mr. Manager, please don't talk anymore, because you went over to the hurricane conference and pronounced there wouldn't be any storm, and then as a result,
you didn't get as many as you're supposed to get.
As a result, we have a major storm.
We need to plan for now, so when it gets here,
but
June door is about to open.
And Dennis can speak to this, but there have not been any predictions as of yet. Hurricane season starts June 1,
Yeah.
and the prediction usually come out sometime in the end of May. Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, predictions have come out. They actually came out earlier this week.
Came out earlier this week.
Right. And the predictions currently are 16, 8, and 4, which means 16 named storms, 8 hurricanes, with 4 of those being major hurricanes, which is slightly above an average season.
Yeah. And I saw where there was one in the Indian Ocean already.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So where are we?
That's what he lives for, the plan for hurricanes. He doesn't live to plan for viruses.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I live to plan for every emergency or disaster that affects the citizens of Chatham County.
Yeah.
Okay. But I just want the citizens to know that we are not just sitting here working on just the virus. We are working on what's potentially to come this way.
That's correct.
See, and they need to know that it's a continuous work. See, because some people may think that we're just locked into the virus.
Yeah, no,
but we have to look at every disaster that will come through this county.
We do, and my staff have already started looking at what are the consequences if a hurricane were to actually come here. See, part of emergency management's function is consequence management.
Right.
The response is mostly handled by law enforcement, police departments, fire departments, firefighters, EMS. Those are the people who actually respond to the emergent issue. Our function is to look at, from a higher level, how all of those responding entities are going to affect the consequences of what another agency is doing. So our function is consequence management. So we generally when we start planning, we generally take a look at what the outcome should look like, what we would like for the outcome to be, and then we start reverse planning from there. So with coronavirus, we started with the worst case scenario. What would it look like if we have certain situations here, and then we reverse plan from there. We've also done some strategizing internally to talk about what if this extends into hurricane season, if we do get a hurricane and we have to now issue evacuation orders for the county. We've done some reverse planning to look at what are the things that we need to start considering. So those are on our list. The planning for that has not been done yet. It's a little bit too early to do that right now. But we do know at least in bulk, the items that we're going to need to tackle if we have to come to a point in time over the next month or so where we need to really start considering that.
Right, okay. But I just want to make sure, because I've got constituents who ask me those kind of questions, and they're saying, what if these two things bump together? How are you going to evacuate people and yet still keep the space and they're on the bus?
Right. And
So
that's
those
on
are
a,
kind of questions
that's on a larger scale, but earlier in the week we had a tornado watch, and we were ready to react to that as well. So our job is to look at any emergency issue, whether it's natural, man-made, or technological, and have a plan in place in order to make sure that we can respond and recover from that particular incident as quickly as possible and with the least amount of expenditures as possible.
Okay.